In the start, Daniel Schulte from Germany is fastest into this final in lane number 4. Veronica Gomez Vasco from Colombia goes in 2. Olga Iakibiuk from Ukraine in 3. Paralympic champion Daniel Schulte, the reigning world champion from Germany, goes in lane 4. She'll be a big favourite for this one. But what can this lady do? Mary Fisher. She has been on great form at these championships so far. And Naomi Ikinaga from Japan. She completes the 5 swimmers in this final. Daniela Schulte. Entry time 5:11.32. She is the world record holder. That time stands at 5:10.77. But Mary Fisher from New Zealand, already 2 gold medals at this championships, and she may be looking for a third. But Daniela Schulte has gone out very strong there in the opening few meters, the opening half length, and she is keeping it pretty central to the lane, not really on the lane rope. She's veering across just to the right. Mary Fisher up against that lane rope on her left. But very important, as you can see that the tapper's going over there. Schulte with a 3.5 second lead on the first 50. That is a very, very fast pace. She was beaten just marginally by a couple of tenths of a second by Mary Fisher yesterday. So it looks like Schulte means business here. She's going out for this one and just trying to break the spirit of the other swimmers in this race very early. She's making sure. Schulte leads at the moment from Fisher.
And Fisher a little unsure where she's in the lane. She went into the turn, she zigzagged away after the turn. The last 2 strokes, she deliberately went to the left-hand side of the lane, turned, hugged the lane rope for 4-stroke cycles, but then zigzagged and ended on the opposite side of the lane. It takes a lot out of you. You don't want to do that too often and end up swimming too far. So really wants to try and stay a little closer, a little tighter to that anti-wave lane rope. Slither and slide up that rope. And try and give herself a good advantage in terms of swimming the shortest possible distance. There's the tapper. And that's the leader, Daniela Schulte. Well, she set the world record on the 19th of August 2010. She set that world record in Eindhoven at the World Championships. 5:11.32 to qualify in this lane number 4 for this final tonight. Fisher still in second, some 7 seconds shy though, 7.14 seconds at the turn in third. Iakibiuk seems to have stopped the clock in 2:05.37. But here we are, 2:36.78 for Schulte.
It's just around about a second or so outside world record pace for Schulte. But she has got a big lead there. Around about 8 seconds now. It's increasing as we go through the swim. Daniela Schulte from Germany. First, remember Daniela way back in the mid-90s. She went to the Atlanta Paralympic Games in 1996. As a teenager, she was Daniela Rolla then. Just being tapped there, reaching for the wall there as you saw her. Just go over there after the tap. She gave up the sport. Well, she had a family, she was married, and then she reappeared a few years later after being out the sport for some 5 or 6 years, I think it was. Reappeared as Daniela Schulte. We all thought when we saw the name, said, oh, goodness, Germany have got another swimmer, another new swimmer, and then we saw and we thought, oh, it's Daniela Rolla. She'd be married, and she's come back strongly. She's had her family, and she is still one of the top visually impaired swimmers in the world. 100 meters to go. Daniel Schulte from Germany leads the rest of the field. 4:01.05 for the German swimmer. Some way outside her world record pace, but she leads Mary Fisher from New Zealand and Olga Iakibiuk from Ukraine as they move into the last 100 meters.
Nobody's going to catch Iakibiuk for the bronze medal. Fisher, well, she's a long way clear of Iakibiuk, so silver for Fisher. And the leader, the world record holder, the world champion, Daniel Schulte in lane 4, turns for the last time, 4:43.87, as she's on her way home now in this, the women's 400 meters freestyle S11. The final lap, 8 lengths off the pool. Daniel Schulte for Germany, showing good technique. You cannot even see the head when she takes that breath. It's so low and it's so tight to make the stroke nice and efficient. Well, it's a slow performance for her, but look at the fast finish right there. It's 5:25.24 for Schulte, but Fisher, didn't she come back like a train? 5:28.06 for silver for Mary Fisher off New Zealand. And coming in, Iakibiuk for the Ukraine in bronze. And now stopping the clock, 5:53.42, unofficial of course.
There's Ikinaga from Japan coming in there in 4th position, and still with just over 50 meters to go. Gomez Vasco from Colombia is going to be the final swimmer to complete this 400 meters. But Daniel Schulte, now she won't know necessarily that she has won the gold medal. She might have a good idea, but these swimmers who have no vision at all, well, they are not allowed to be told by their coaches that they have won or haven't won, what kind of performance they've done. So they have to wait till they get out the pool and get those blacked out goggles checked over before their coaches can actually tell them what kind of time they've done and what position they've finished in. So unless they can glean something from the stadium announcer here, then they may not know already. I remember Mary Fisher in London when she was told by her coach that she'd actually won the gold medal in the 200 medley, and a broad smile broke out over her face. That was one of the things I very much remember. And that by that time the race had been finished for a couple of minutes, but it took that long for Mary Fisher to get out the pool, to get the goggles checked, and for her coach to be able to tell her. Gomez Vasco coming in with 3 meters to go now. Her entry time 7:26, and she's posted, well, slightly off that, 7:34.69 to finish in 5th position, the Colombian swimmer. But what a finish there from Mary Fisher. Well, the lead at one point for Daniel Schulte was almost 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, almost 10 seconds for Daniel Schulte. And Mary Fisher came back, and at the end of the day, it was less than 3 seconds. And there is the finishing times. Daniel Schulte, 5:25.2.